Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Stupid. And I still had a bit of, you know, I wasn't as evolved as a person. I got these feelings, but I didn't trust them. You know, it was early and I was feeling things and I was like, that ain't right. You know, I always had good instincts.
What was shocking to him was what he saw rappers doing. He goes, I saw rappers doing things I never expected to see, and it totally changed the way I look at them. I guess he's saying there was male on male among rappers.
It's like, that ain't right, but you know, I was doing my thing and, you know, new cars and girls, and I didn't really want to hear it at the time. And he was like, man, you stupid, man. But I knew that something wasn't right about the things that I was doing. My conscience was alive.
Y'all, we've got some pretty shocking claims coming from Diddy's former dealer, and they're not for the faint of heart. Apparently, this dealer is saying that Diddy used key, yes, the same substance that tragically took Matthew Perry's life, to incapacitate and then allegedly grape multiple high-profile rappers. I know it's a lot to take in. Now, these alleged incidents supposedly went down at Diddy's infamous white parties in the Hamptons. You know, those fancy exclusive gatherings where everyone dresses in white and pretends to be classy. Well, according to these claims, they were anything but classy behind closed doors. But here's the kicker. The artist Diddy allegedly targeted, we're talking some of the biggest names in the rap game. I'm talking A-list, chart-topping, Grammy-winning rappers. It's like a who's who of hip-hop, but in the worst possible way.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah,
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Well, you've been saying this for a long time now.
I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Now let's pause for a sec and talk about why some celebs might be keeping quiet about all this. According to our source, a lot of the celebrity culture isn't saying anything because they might have participated too. It's like a twisted game of I know your secret if you know mine. But here's the thing, we need to shift our focus from all the gay rumors and jokes floating around social media. Because at the end of the day, if what's being alleged is true, we're talking about grape. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter if these rappers were gay, straight, or anything in between. If Diddy was spiking drinks with K and waiting for people to pass out, that's grape. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So let's dive deeper into what Diddy's dealer spilled about these parties and who the alleged victims might be. Buckle up, because this tea is scalding.
It exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video was in nature.
All right, so Diddy's white parties in the Hamptons weren't exactly a secret. They were the talk of the town, with A-listers lining up to get an invite. But according to these new allegations, what went down behind closed doors was on a whole different level of crazy. Picture this, the official party winds down, most guests leave, but Diddy keeps a select few behind for an after party. And by select few, we're talking young men in the music industry. It's giving Major Predator vibes, if you ask me. Now, here's where it gets really dark. According to the allegations, Diddy would offer these men a drink. But what they didn't know was that the drink was laced with K. Once they passed out, Diddy would allegedly grape them in the most humiliating ways imaginable. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the whole thing was supposedly recorded on hidden cameras. Talk about a nightmare scenario.
I'm from Cali on the beach, man. Venice Beach. Venice Beach. Yeah. That's a printer. Give a shout out. Pastor Christian, can we get a shout out?
So, like, we here to, like, try to raise money for these, mosquito bed nets. So if you don't understand, like, just imagine living in Africa and, like, your little infant child just gets bit by a mosquito and he dies. We're doing a charity this year, and I'm glad to attach with my boys' charity, and we're gonna do it every year with another charity. So thank y'all very much for coming. So let's party.
Okay, so let's talk about this dealer who's spilling all the tea. He spoke to the New York Post, and the details are wild. He says he showed up to one of Diddy's parties to supply some substances, and Diddy answered the door in just a robe. Already, that's a major red flag. The dealer described seeing celebrity guys hooking up with each other in back bedrooms. He was shocked to see rappers you'd never expect to be together. And get this, many guests were allegedly high on K and GHB, which is known as a substance. Now, for those who don't know, K is super powerful. In small doses, it can give you a high, but in larger amounts, it can knock you out cold. And that's exactly what Diddy allegedly wanted, to leave his victims defenseless. So, who were these alleged victims? Well, that's the million-dollar question. We're talking about some of the biggest names in hip-hop attending these parties. And apparently quite a few of them woke up in Diddy's bed the next day with no memory of what happened. It's like a real-life horror movie.
Be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a mother at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room. Nick, come here, come here. Is that too kissing?
Now here's where it gets really juicy. One name that keeps coming up in connection to these parties is Jay-Z. Yes, that Jay-Z, Diddy's longtime friend and one of the most powerful men in music. But here's the thing, people can't agree on whether Jay was a willing participant or one of Diddy's victims. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, there's more. The attorney representing some of Diddy's accusers dropped a bombshell recently. She said there's an explicit video of Diddy and another A-list celebrity being shopped around in Hollywood. And get this celeb is apparently even more high profile than Diddy himself. I mean, who could that be?
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
And I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
the
I can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is nature.
Now, the attorney, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, had some interesting things to say about this mystery tape. She believes the other person in the video might not have known they were being recorded. It's like they weren't an active participant in the filming. Can you imagine being recorded without your knowledge in such a vulnerable moment? It's absolutely horrifying.
There's only one person. Oh, go on. And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
that should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
So why are people so convinced this mystery person might be Jay-Z? Well, for starters, Jay and Diddy have been tight for years. Diddy once said Jay is the only person besides his mom who can call him by his real name. That's some next level friendship right there.
First time I heard that Jay-Z probably was my father when I was 8 years old. And my mom, we was actually sitting in the house on a regular day, listening to music. My mom came up to me and was like, "Hey Rob, I got something to tell you. That's your dad for real." I'm like, I was shocked, like, "Mom, what are you talking about? I'm young." Like, it's nothing your parents would just make up like that. You don't just say this type of person is your father, Jay-Z. Like, I didn't get a fair due process in court. I never got my chance to talk. It basically just all got pushed to the side. Like, this was never about, you know, chasing anybody or trying to receive anything from it. This was like, you know, I'm trying to really see who my dad is. Everyone who really knows me know how I am. I stay to myself, I work every day, I take care of my family, I do my own music. I've been doing music since I was a kid. It's not nothing that just popped up. I ain't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm gonna write a song and put it out there and I'm gonna go follow and try to chase one of these billionaires and say they my dad. No, I've always been me.
But here's where it gets complicated. Jay-Z has his own skeletons in the closet. There are allegations about him dating individuals below the age, including the mother of his alleged son, Rymir Satterthwaite. Rumor has it she was only 16 when Jay got her pregnant. And apparently, that's why Jay has been avoiding taking a paternity test for Rymir. It's messy, y'all, and let's not forget Jay's past friendship with R. Kelly, another industry predator who targeted young ones. It's like a web of problematic connections.
R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored in the United States. Everybody knew. That's why I couldn't really watch that documentary, because half of the people that was in there, I can't believe he did it. You used to go get the this too. I watched you, dog. I watched y'all make these deals. Don't nobody want to talk about Aaliyah. Don't nobody want to talk about that.
Yeah, she really
If she had been alive now, there's a lot of people that wouldn't have jobs. Funny how that worked out for some people.
Now, let's talk about those rumors that Jay-Z swings both ways. This is another bit of gossip that Jay's PR team has allegedly worked overtime to suppress, but you know how it is. The internet never forgets.
I got looking, I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so you image yourself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Back in the day, there were rumors that Jay-Z was in a gay relationship with a male model turned football player named Larry Johnson. They even reportedly lived together for a while. Interestingly, since 2003, Johnson has been arrested multiple times for domestic violence and attacks on women. It's strange how Jay seems to hang around these rumored closeted men who have a history of violence against women. Now, most reports about Jay and Larry's friendship have been scrubbed from the internet, but there's one article from 2009 on the 97.9 The Beat website where an anonymous tipster who claimed to work at Trump Tower spilled some tea. They said Jay-Z and Larry Johnson were living together in the building and Beyonce was nowhere to be seen. The tipster even claimed to have video footage of them together in the building. And then there's Jay-Z's relationship with Beyonce. We all know about the cheating scandal, but fans have noticed other things too, like how Jay rarely shows Beyonce genuine affection in public. Even when she gushes about him in front of the whole world, he barely reacts. Remember that awkward moment at an awards show? Yikes. Oh, and let's not forget the time Jay brought another man on his first date with Beyonce. I mean, who does that? But probably the biggest clue about Jay-Z's rumored DL lifestyle came from his former friend, Jaz-O. He claimed that, much like Diddy, Jay performed gay acts on his way up the industry ladder. Of course, this interview was scrubbed from the internet faster than you can say 99 problems, but it was posted on Lipstick Alley back in 2009. And judging by the comments, a lot of fans believed Jaz-O was telling the truth. Now, here's where it gets really wild. Remember Wendy Williams? Well, back in 2008, when she was launching her talk show, she made some predictions. One of them was about a gay tape featuring two prominent hip-hop artists surfacing. She said, "It's only a matter of time." A lot of artists almost got pulled out of the closet kicking and screaming in 2007. Do you not think one of these ecstasy-induced idiots is stupid enough to tape a "how you doing" encounter? Wait and see. Fast forward to 2024, and it looks like a lot of Wendy's predictions are coming true. It turns out that every time people accused her of spreading gossip, she might have actually been trying to expose the industry while staying in character to protect herself. Clever girl. And then there's this blind item from the 90s or early 2000s that recently resurfaced online. It talks about two high-profile hip-hop moguls living that DL lifestyle. The blind item describes two rich and famous guys who party together surrounded by beautiful women. But sometimes they go home alone. Well, not exactly alone. They've got each other. The blind item says these two macho dudes are secretly fooling around together because neither will risk talking about it. Back then, people thought it was about Jay-Z and his former business partner Dame Dash. But now, fans are saying it sounds more like Jay and Diddy. Interesting, right? So, why is Jay-Z staying silent on all these accusations surrounding Diddy? Well, rumor has it that Jay might actually be one of Diddy's victims. Not in the sense that Diddy raped him, but more like Diddy allegedly recorded their consensual private acts without Jay's knowledge. And now he's supposedly using that footage to blackmail Jay. This could explain why Jay didn't publicly distance himself from Diddy even when the scandal started piling up. And even now that Diddy is locked up and waiting for trial, Jay is still keeping his lips zipped. Sources say it's because he knows Diddy still holds a lot of power, and someone from Diddy's circle could easily leak those tapes. According to insiders, Jay-Z is just one of many victims in Diddy's alleged blackmail scheme. The big question now is, will Diddy release the list of names, or will he get Epstein before he can bring down someone more powerful? Sources close to the case say Diddy recorded every single FreakOffs session and supposedly has thousands of hours of footage from his parties. He's allegedly been using these recordings to blackmail his industry friends for years. We're talking rappers, singers, actors, record label executives, and even politicians. Diddy apparently kept these tapes locked away and used them as leverage to control people in the industry. And obviously, the reason why none of these high-profile people have come forward is that they know if these tapes were ever made public, it could not only destroy their reputations, but also lead to serious legal consequences, especially if they were filmed doing something with persons below the age. It's a ticking time bomb, y'all. So, what do you think? Could Jay-Z really be that high-profile person who has a private tape with Diddy? Is this all just wild speculation, or is there some truth to these allegations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest tea. This is Sophie Scoop signing off for now. But trust me, I'll be back with more juicy gossip before you know it. Stay sassy, besties. Stay sassy.